Alright guys, well, good afternoon. It is 1:40 on October 13th and we're headed out. Troy's going to be staying home tonight. His daughter's birthday is today and they're going to celebrate it with the family, so I'm running solo. We had some decent success on opening weekend for us. Saw some good does out at our property in Northwest Illinois and a couple bucks, and we decided to hunt local tonight. So we're headed to a place we call the South Farm. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of intel at this farm. We got a picture of a really nice deer that we call Buzz, actually right where we parked, but it's not till 10:30 midnight, in between that time, that he shows up. So we know we're not close to his core area, and tonight I want to try and get an idea where he's coming from. Weather's good, hopefully he'll be up on his feet, and the dirt hole, this specific stand, I can see a long ways in all directions. So I'm going to glass, try and pick him up as he moves from bed to wherever he's headed, and hopefully get lucky. If another buck comes by that I'm willing to shoot, I'm definitely going to take that deer too, but we'll see what happens. So we got about 10 more minutes till we're there. We're going to get dressed up and head on out. See you there. Set up, get everything hung, and go to draw back and look about 100 yards to my west, and there's a young doe, maybe a fawn, feeding out here headed this way in the hayfield. So that's a good sign. It's only 3:30, 3 o'clock, and they're already out. I actually saw 2 deer out in an alfalfa field across the road here too, so they're up and active. We're all settled in, drew back, got ready. So we're gonna stay quiet because deer are close. Obviously, this one's working this way. Let's see what happens. Well, that's a good sign. It's exactly what I want them to do. Come out of that woods after nibbling on the acorns on those oak trees up there, work in the green field, get some corn and alfalfa, and then work out behind me up to the corn. that scared them off their flight. Something from the south, they all ran north into that oak savanna, but I haven't seen them. Kind of stood out there a little longer than the other deer, and then I looked away for a second, he was gone.
That is a giant for sure, and I gotta tell you, if I was Tim, I'd be doing one thing and one thing only. How am I gonna adjust my plans to be able to stay on that buck? This 192 actually right here is a very similar story to his buck. You know, you see a big buck like that and you gotta just start figuring out, what am I gonna do to stay on that deer? You know, one of the things we always say around here is don't leave deer to find deer. That's definitely a mega giant. I hope that he begins to expand his range to include some of my properties, because I'm gonna have to start spending a little more time chasing that one as well. Next up, we're gonna join Clinton as he has some great encounters.
All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. It is, I don't know, like 4:30 on Monday afternoon, October the 15th. I just got home from work. The conditions are great to hunt tonight. The family's got stuff going on, and I'm going to try to get out. I'm running late as normal, so I'm going to go to a stand that we've already hunted twice this year, but we've been seeing a lot of deer. It has great access. It's where I killed my buck last year, and so that's what I'm going to do. I have no big deer pictures yet on my entire farm at home. None of us do that hunt here, so historically, this is just a good spot early season, so I'm going to go up there. If I get a doe close, I'll probably take a shot at her. If not, I'm just going to sit up there and enjoy the evening. So I'm going to get my clothes changed here, and I'll catch you in the tree. You can see I'm very organized. Everything is always a train wreck. Ask Frankie. Or my wife. She's the one that keeps me organized most of the time. Made it up the tree. Feels great out. It's sunny. First sunny day we've had for probably a week. It was 48 degrees in the truck on the way up here. Got a pretty good westerly wind. It's swirling a little bit, kicking back and forth, but it's mainly staying west. So this stands good west, southwest, northwest. So should be a good night. There's usually a lot of does in here. You know, I know this. I've hunted this farm. Let's see, I'm 36. I shot my first deer here when I was 9. So if we do the math there, that would mean 27 years. That's a long time. So I've been hunting this family farm. Well, it's not my family's, it's my neighbors. We've all been hunting it together for 27 years. Frank and I have several spots like this where we've worked over the years to create spots with good access that we can get to after work, because we like to hunt a lot. But a lot of times if you try to crash it on your good spots too late in the day, you blow them out. Well, it's about 6:15. I've got roughly probably a half hour left. Haven't had much come out lately, but I did just have a big doe come out with no fawns. I'm going to assume that she's going to walk up the edge of that switchgrass and cut in here in this trail beside me. If she does that and nothing else shows up, she will be in trouble. Boy, she had me pretty shook up there. Oh. I thought she'd just ease her way up through here real slow, so I was just kind of messing around filming some B-roll. And she was probably 80 yards away, and she just, when she decided she was coming, man, here she came, so. Hit her pretty good, just a touch higher than I wanted, but I was twisted around real tight against my harness. Anyway, great hunt so far this evening. Perfect scenario. Big mature doe all by herself.
All right, well, I got my camera back there on the deer. I just come home and got my little hunting buddy Red. She wanted to go with me to go get it. I already got it down below the tree, so we're gonna run up there in the truck, get her unloaded. Go check it out.
I can't see you.
I'm right here by the truck behind the light.
Oh.
Go look at the deer.
I'm afraid that
You scared of it?
I just want to stay right here because I don't want to get smelled like deer.
Oh, you don't want to get smelled like deer? You're one of those girls? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What do you think?
I like it.
All right, guys, well, there you have it. You know, got a nice doe harvesting tonight. It worked out perfectly. That's what I was looking for, a mature doe that didn't have any fawns with it. Avery and the kids, they don't like me shooting them if they have fawns. Just one of the things I got to deal with as I've gotten older. But, you know, important for me to start the year out like this. I've shot my bow literally thousands of times this summer. I have shot this bow more than I have shot all the bows in my life combined. I promise you that. So it's important to get a good shot. Two things. You got blood on your finger?
Just a little.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What's Mom going to say?
I don't care.
Two things to take away from this hunt. You always have to remember, when you've got them tuned up because you stopped them, you got to hold low. I held the middle of her body. I was not thinking. I was concentrating too much on filming and not on what I was doing, and I hit her high. Good thing she didn't duck anymore. It would have been too high. You know, I hit her in the top of both lungs. I'm sure I haven't gutted her yet, but she only lived 15 seconds, and I heard her crash back there and expire. But, you know, and the second thing is, you know, if you have a transition area like this on your farm, or if, you know, like I said earlier, we've hunted this farm for 27 years. You know, if you have a transition area like this, you can manipulate a little bit with that grass. I planted that switch grass on top of the hill because what used to happen is the deer would stage here and then go up the hill beside the stand. It just made it more difficult. So over the years of watching that, Frank and I decided to plant that grass there. That forces them by you. You know, if she'd have come a little slower, it would have been better, but unfortunately she didn't. But overall, just a great night. So good way to get things started this year, and we'll check back in with you next week.
Watching Clinton is like the way I always feel. I'm always running a few minutes late just because I have so much to do all the time. But what a great hunt. I mean, Clinton always seems to be able to get into deer. That's why I love watching his hunts. I mean, and the one thing for sure that I've learned from Clinton over the years myself is how powerful that those Heartland clover plots can be, guys. You don't need these monster plots. I mean, that's a small plot that he's hunting there, but I tell you what, it's perfect. Doesn't look like there's a weed in that field. The deer love it, and it's a great spot to be able to, like he said, have an early season spot. I mean, I love it. So just a great hunt from Clinton. I know that he has sent in some other footage too. He's been starting to get into some bucks. He had a chance to go hunting with Frank. He's been out with his son before already. So I know those Fulton County boys are going to be into some big deer soon. It's just a matter of time. And with the way things are lining up this year, it's going to be a heck of a year. With that being said, guys, we're going to join up with Lancaster Archery to learn about how and what you should be thinking about when you choose your next bow site.
Here's 4 things to consider when you're picking out a new hunting site. First one's probably going to be the most basic, whether or not you want to go with a multi-pin site or a single pin site. Obviously the multi-pin site, you preset each pin 20, 30, 40, 50 yards. Single pin, you have one pin that you move in the hunting situation to get to the distance that you want it to be at. You're going to have a sight tape to work off there. Next thing you're going to want to think about is the pin size. Not all pin sizes are the same, and you're not going to be able to see them all the same. On your right here, you're going to see a 10,000th. The other side is 30 thousandths. Think about what you can see and what you can't see when you're picking out your pin size. The smaller one's going to be more precise, but the bigger one's going to be brighter. If you're going to go with a multi-pin sight, think about the number of pins you want. I got a 5-pin sight and a 3-pin sight. How far you plan to shoot, that may dictate whether you need more distances or not. And then lastly, the fiber length. That is going to be critical to what you can see. You can see on this 3-pin sight, very short fiber length, just a little bit longer than the pin, as compared to this multi-pin sight where the fiber wraps all the way around the scope housing. The more fiber you have, the more light it's going to gather, the easier it's going to be for you to see. Back to you guys.
Hey PJ, thanks for the great tips. Those are always appreciated. Well guys, the season is definitely starting to heat up, and here we are, it's October 17th. I mean, what incredible weather we've been having this year. I mean, if you're a bow hunter and you're driving to work like I was this morning, you see all that frost, you're definitely going, oh my gosh, I gotta get out there. But you know what? Don't panic. The best part of the season is still ahead. There's plenty of time. Luckily, I was able to slip out on a hunt actually last night with Brad. It was a great little hunt. You know, we had a small buck come through. We were looking for a trophy doe, but unfortunately just this little fawn came through. We just were not going to shoot that. The muskrat was a little entertaining as well, but some of the best time, guys, is ahead. The weather looked like it's going to be pretty much holding steady, so I know these big boys are going to start getting up on their feet shortly. They just can't resist it because it's that time of the year. Next up, we're going to take a look at who the trail camera photo winner is going to be. Adam Hart, Bo Cleveguard, Colin Zahner, Avery Story, Tom Lapine, and Jacob Shepak. Hey guys, those are some great trophies you're chasing there. Always enjoy seeing the photos. This week we're going to have to choose. I actually let Brad choose it so nobody can be mad at me. We are going with Colin Zahner. It's a great shot. A buck looked like it's at a scrape, nice and close to the camera. Gotta love those photos. Those are definitely the exciting photos that get you all jacked up. I love trail cameras. So guys, with that being said, thank goodness I got through this episode without having any leg cramps. That was absolutely terrible on Tuesday. I felt the pain of that one. I actually am still feeling that one, pulling on the back of my knee. But I appreciate all the advice. I've gotten everything from get checked from Lyme disease to drink more water to mustard, pickled juice. There's been a whole bunch of them. I'm going to be trying a little bit of all of them. Hopefully I do not have the Lyme disease. Guys, with that being said, it's been another great week here at Bowhunter Die. I mean, we're starting to hear reports from the team that they're starting to see bucks up on the feet. We got cold weather moving in. We do have a lot of wind still kind of out there that we're going to have to deal with. I mean, some of those windy spots can be a real pain. You know, sometimes you set stands for thinking about where the deer are going to come or where you're going to sit. You don't kind of plan for 15 and 20 mile an hour winds. It kind of blows up all your spots a little bit. So try to find those spots that are a little bit out of the wind. Otherwise, until next time, Bowhunter Die. For more exciting action, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and receive live updates from our team members as well as the latest happenings in the bowhunting and archery world. Be sure to share your photos, stories, and experiences as well. And don't forget to pick up your official bowhunting.com and Bowhunter Die gear by visiting bowhunting.com/gear. We have a full selection of hats, shirts, decals, wristbands, and much more. Those last names are going to be hard without Justin being here. There is no question. Okay, I always say that. Is that right? Shut back? All right. Call it a day.
And also, since I'm skinny and a wuss, I wear my late season Revenant jacket when I go hunting and it's 40 degrees. Because that's what I do. I think I better put it on the bottom of my bag. That'll be smart.